Welcome to this special Today's Homeowner podcast, where we're reopening the door to the Kuppersmith Project. The Kuppersmith Project was an extraordinary renovation of a 1926 English Tudor home in Mobile, Alabama. We taped 13 episodes of the Today's Homeowner television show and captured the entire process, including the awesome decorating by the Better Homes and Gardens team. We thought it would be great to revisit some of the key members of that team. Well, with me today is Jill Waage, who's the editor-in-chief of Traditional Home, one of the Meredith Corporation publications. Jill, it's so good to have you on the podcast. And how are things going for you?
Oh, things are great. I'm busier than ever. It's a good time for home content, that's for sure.
Well, it is. It's just amazing some of the things we're, hearing about what's happened, to DIY and to just the whole home industry over the pandemic and so forth. It really is a phenomenon when you start looking at the statistics of, the home centers and what they're doing, the number of people that are embracing do-it-yourself. It really makes us as media people really pay attention to all of that.
Yes. Absolutely. It's one of those times when you just sit there and you think, I look at what we do at Meredith and what we do across the group that I manage, and it just, as we just watched people gravitate towards with this appetite for the content because they were at home. And, I could sort of feel like I've always been at home, and you and I are we've been doing this for years. We love this stuff, and it's fun to see more people make more time for it and look for the ideas and look for the content and the wisdom. So it's a privilege and a lot of fun to track this consumer through this.
Some kind of a little correlation that I thought about the other day is, back during the real downturn in the economy, 08, 09 and so forth, a lot of people embraced do-it-yourself, and a lot of people started doing things around their home because basically they had to. They were, concerned about the money, concerned about what was going on, so they just didn't want to write the check to have it done for them. And I think a residual effect to that is a lot of these people said, hey, I kind of like this, and this instant gratification is really cool. And by the way, I just saved $500 by doing this myself. So I think there was a residual effect there that put more people tuned in on home improvement. I think that same thing will affect will be the same type of effect we'll see after the pandemic's completely over with. I think there's just a whole new breed and a whole new group of people that absolutely love doing things around their home.
You are exactly right, and as we've both been tracking this for a lot of years, and I remember all the research that we did back in the time when during the downturn and studying what people were doing, and at that time, we were talking about how millennials were graduating from college with college debt, and were they going to be able to afford down payments, and were they going to even want to own homes? And I remember just sitting there at the time and thinking, just give them time to grow up and establish their lives. This generation of homeownership is perfect for this. They've grown up watching YouTube. They've grown up watching cooking shows on television. They've grown up watching these remodeling shows like yours, and it's like they love to watch transformation. And it's like by the time you get these folks established in their career, of course they're going to want to buy homes. Of course they're primed to want to do this activity, and it's really fun to look back 10 years now and see how they've grown and to watch how millennials are embracing homeownership and what they're doing with it and how they're using their skills and honing them. It's really fascinating.
And I love when I hear the term empowered, that really, yes. Seeing the show, reading Better Homes and Gardens, reading Traditional Home, it just empowered me, maybe gave me confidence to do a few things around the house. And I think that is just as positive and as American as it gets right there.
The American dream. Exactly. Right. I'm with you. I am completely with you. I get to watch it from across the whole portfolio that I work on. I get to watch everything from the beautiful, high-end, gorgeous projects in Traditional Home, and then all the way to watching homeowners that they go out thrifting and they transform a piece of furniture in their home to make it functional for them and work in their space. And just to be able to observe the gamut of how creative and how much people love their homes that's that's just a privilege. I love it. It's fascinating.
Well, I tell you, Jill, it's amazing that it's been 10 years since the Kuppersmith Project was completed, and that was a phenomenally successful project in many, many ways. I mean, certainly my company, with today's Homeowner, being able to partner with Meredith and Better Homes and Gardens and Traditional Home, really put it out to a very, very large audience. But and I'm really proud because I think we hit on a number of trends there that we all identified, that we, integrated into the project, that are still holding up very well. And I'll tell you one of them, right inside that front door, that drop zone that was designed there was really so practical. It makes so much sense and still makes sense today, don't you think?
That is one of my favorite features in that house. And I remember that at the time, that the word drop zone was kind of the new terminology in the storage and organization world at Better Homes. And we talked like, we've got to put a drop zone in this house because that's the future. And so we think about a lot of times the mud rooms that we feature in homes. It's homes that have a lot of square footage and have the ability to dedicate a room to have your cubbies and your washer and dryer and where you drop your keys. But a lot of homes, when you walk in the front door, you're in the living room.
Right.
And so that drop zone was just such a great way we could show people that with a little bit of remodeling, you can make the entrance and the exit of your home every day so much easier, and it could be attractive. And that has stood the test of time. Drop zone has just gone on tenfold since then, and we still publish magazines about storage and organization that continue to evolve in what that drop zone looks like and how it functions for families. So that was a real big one.
No doubt about it. And something else that more and more consumers wanted, and we heard a lot back then, is to have just a small area, usually in the kitchen, for your bills and things that, your laptop and things that you're going to do. Of course, what we've seen over the last year with the necessity for a workspace in the home has evolved even more to home offices. But what do you think about, do you still think that trend is strong within kitchen areas to have just that little desk area?
Absolutely. This is another one that I get to have a career-long perspective on. That we remember when desks kind of worked their way into the 70s and 80s kitchens, and then all of a sudden everyone thought that was just a disaster zone, like that was just a messy thing. You get that mess out of my kitchen. But now how families are with technology and how with the open concept floor plans, all those work desks and workspaces started coming back in because parents and adults needed a place that they could station themselves and pay bills and keep their ear on what the kids were watching on TV. And you wanted to keep your eyeball on dinner. And it's interesting how life and perception of life changed in that. And now it can be a tiny little, a small little section, or we see additions where that family command center, family control center segues into a desk surface where there's 2 spots for computers and people can do homework or work from home, and it blends right into that family space.
We recently did a show that we had a lot of fun with. We had someone that we were working with that were working out of their home and had been for quite some time. And they had several bedrooms, so there was no problem. They were able to operate out of a bedroom. But then they had another child and another child. All of a sudden, they're looking around, what am I going to do? Well, he had a large master closet, so he occupied part of the closet. His wife occupied, with her clothes, the rest of the closet. And so they were asking us for some help. Well, we did a show on what we called the Cloffice.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's called the Cloffice.
Yeah, and it worked so well. We put some natural light in there with a fixed window on one side, built some great cabinetry, and then reorganized the closet to where she had actually more usable space after the renovation than she did before. And it just made, I love things when you finish it up and you go, you know what, that made a lot of sense. And I know people are struggling for ideas on how to incorporate that. And, we're hearing that, of course, a lot of people going back to their offices now, but a lot of people will not return to their office because it's worked so well for them to work remote. So I still think that workspace and that strong trend of finding creative ways that are not unattractive to have that workspace in your home is still a big thing.
Yep, you're absolutely right, and I think you've totally hit it. It's the multi-purposing of the spaces. Sometimes people do have that extra bedroom they can dedicate to an office or where more than one person works. But sometimes your home office is wherever you can sit down and plug in and log on to Wi-Fi. Like the home office used to be so much more about filing cabinets and making room for the big equipment and the big printer and all the gear that came with it. And, with Wi-Fi and with people's digital workflows and work streams, home offices seem to be more multi-purpose spaces, that it's not just for one thing. It could multi-purpose as a guest room, but it looks more like a living area, and the guest room part of it is a Murphy bed that pulls down, or the fabulous sofa has a sleeper in it or something. It's just the look of it has just gotten more sophisticated, but some people, I was just talking to someone myself the other day who said that when everyone in the family came home and they had 4 or 5 people that had to find a little spot to work or do school in the house, one parent said, well, the table, the table that was beside our bed in the main bedroom, that became my desk. I worked from the bedside table because the kids had to have the computers in the office. So
right, whatever it takes.
It's going to continue to evolve, and we are all the same. I think you're exactly on it.
When you think about trends, of course, we all like a little bit of the fun, of the whimsical kind of trends here and there from here and there. But the timeless things always appealed to me, and nothing more timeless than hardwood floors. There at the Kuppersmith Project had those awesome antique heart pine floors. We needed a little bit of extra wood for some of the addition area. We were able to get it milled, and it just worked out great. Of course, not everybody, especially in renovation and newer homes, are going to put down 3/4-inch pine flooring, but I'm telling you that engineered flooring is getting pretty close in terms of a realistic look and matching a lot of those old traditional floors.
Yes. It's funny, we joke a lot around my traditional home team as well as our kitchen and bath editing team that, pick a material in nature and you can get it replicated in whatever material suits your lifestyle. Like you can pick it. You can have ceramic that looks like wood. Definitely the luxury vinyl category is a really interesting one. And funny story that you would bring this up. We just refinished our hardwood floors last year during the pandemic. So here we are in our solid Gen Xers refinishing our wood floors because we love them so much. Our son and his girlfriend are building a house here this summer, and they have luxury vinyl plank going through their entire main floor.
Oh, I know it.
They looked at it. It looks great. It's perfect for them. They want low maintenance sweeping. They're allergy people. They're also thinking about getting a dog, and so they just want it through their entire first floor. And it's great. And we see it a lot in like second homes, beach properties, lower levels where people are coming in and out from the beach or the water, or you want an easy maintenance downstairs in the family room area. That product is really amazing.
Yeah, we're seeing it everywhere, and I actually used it at my place down at the beach for that very reason. The durability of it, you're just not worried that much because it's durable. And what the heck, if you do cut it or scar it up in some way, you just pluck one piece up and put another one right down. So it makes it a lot easier. Hey, I'll tell you a trend, and this is something that, of course, will be around forever, but it's bigger now than ever before, is developing that really cool outdoor living space. And, I mean, people are putting a lot into these things, but one of the things that I like on an outdoor living space is something we call stage remodeling. So you don't have to do it all at one time. Just get the pavers, get your concrete, whatever you're going to use, wood or composite, and go ahead and create the space you're going to stand on and entertain on. Then you can add all of the other amenities. I know you guys at Meredith and Traditional Home, you're seeing people really raising the bar in that area of their home.
For sure. In fact, we saw it coming on, continuing to grow, and being the smart editors that we are, we actually last year decided to work on some single-topic magazines to put out on the newsstand this summer. And so we did one underneath the Traditional Home. It's a Traditional Home Outdoor Rooms and Retreats that's on sale now, and then we also did one on the Better Homes and Gardens brand that is focused on the backyard, so backyard retreats. And those issues are just packed with all kinds of ideas of how to use that outdoor space because it just keeps getting more sophisticated and refined. I hear on the Traditional Home side all the time where designers say that when they tackle a project for homeowners, they do a budgetary carve-out for what they're going to spend on the outdoor living space, the same as any other room in the home. And it's about smoothing that transition indoors to out to make it feel like it lives like the room, everything from the doors that slide back to the flooring that you choose that can carry from indoors to outside. So that's fun on that end. And then in the DIY space, just the number of people who are making outdoor furniture right now, or spray painting it, or coming up with making their own fire pits, and coming up with they're laying their own pavers. Just that meshing with the gardening trend is it's phenomenal. It's going to be a really busy summer, and I'm one of the people who's waiting another month for my deck boards to come in.
Oh, boy. And I hope those prices go down for you as well.
Well, we ordered, we ordered early enough that it wasn't too bad. But, ripped the deck off and then found out that, there's a delay on the wood. So a month from now, we'll get to enjoy our deck and the pergola that we're putting on top of it. So, I live the edits. I live the edit.
And perfect time of the year for all of that as well. One last question. Do you miss going to all of the trade shows that have been canceled?
I miss my people so much. We do a lot of travel in this business, and it's a lot of airplanes, and it's a lot of conversations. And it's on the one hand, it's been nice to have a little bit of a reprieve from the rigor of the schedule. But what I really miss that energy that we have when we meet the people who we know. We get the chance to see people who we had worked with a long time ago, and there's an energy and a creativity share that happens there that our industry and the world thrives on it, and we need to be able to see our people and share those ideas and learn. And thank goodness for Zoom and for all kinds of online panels. But I'm excited to get back with folks again and get to open doors, push levers, turn switches on and off.
Oh, yeah.
Get to test out some of the pieces at that Kitchen and Bath Show and the High Point Furniture Market and all those places.
Well, I can't wait to get back out there in the aisles myself, and can't wait to see you again and talk a little bit more, because we always have a great time together. Jill, thanks so much for spending some time with me. Tell everybody around Meredith we said hello, and hey, we'll have to do this again.
Hey, you holler anytime. We love it.
Thanks so much, Jill.
Okay, thanks, Danny.
And thank you for listening to this special Today's Homeowner Podcast.